Hi, I'm Dana, and this is the most impromptu video that I've ever done. And if I sound or look or have a different vibe, it's because I've fucking just woken up. It's like half 8. I was meant to have a doctor's appointment at half 2, but I've just gotten a phone call and been told that it's being cancelled. And I tried really hard to reschedule. See, I get so annoyed with myself, and the emotions just haven't fully hit yet, because I didn't get to sleep until like half 3 because I was fucking anxious about my stupid fucking doctor's appointment. So I'm just dead fucking tired. I just wake up feeling really fucking nauseous anytime I have something anxiety inducing happening, and then I go and spend a while throwing up. It's really glamorous and fun and cool. So I did that, and then get this phone call. And initially, I thought that I was gonna do alright. I thought, I was like, hi. And she was like, it's this person from here. And I was like, hi. I don't know what I'm meant to say. It would help if I script, but like other people don't script. So then it's just like that, where it's like you could just tell me who the fuck you are and why you're fucking calling, instead of me having to repeatedly be like, hi, hello, go ahead. But we did that, and she was like, oh, it's this person from this place. We were cancelling your appointment today. So I asked about rescheduling, and she said about having some appointments in some other place this afternoon. And I wasn't really prepared to reschedule for this. I know that she just told me it had been cancelled, but also my brain processed it immediately and was like, oh thank god we don't have to do that today, that's no longer a today issue. And then she was like, yes it is. And I just couldn't fucking do it, and I just absolutely panicked and no more words had come out, and she was asking me what I wanted to do, and I just hung up, and I feel really fucking awful about it. And it's also really fucking frustrating because as an autistic person, I can't really do phones. I just don't get to access healthcare half the time. I've waited over 3 weeks for this appointment, and they've cancelled it the day of. And because I can't use a fucking telephone properly, I just don't get my doctor's appointment now. I've got a fuck off big weird lump inside my groin leg area. I've got a weird lump behind my fucking ear. I've got jaw pain. I've got all this stuff where it feels like my body's just falling apart. And I don't get to have my doctor's appointment. And it's one of the times that I don't know if I'm being autistic about it, because she was gonna offer me a different appointment for today, but no, you've changed my fucking plans now. I can't go to a different location the same day, but I also can't just explain all this stuff on the phone, and it's so frustrating. And I thought making a video about it would make me feel better about it, but I am in fact. It's one of those things where I don't think I'm feeling worse about it because I'm filming a video. I think I was going to start feeling worse about it no matter what I did, and I started filming a video, so now this is what I'm doing while I start to feel bad about it. My stomach is starting to hurt worse and worse. I don't know if it's because I decided to treat myself to takeout last night like an idiot, or if it's just my general like the way that my body feels is so often connected to my emotions more than how my fucking body is functioning as a body. It's really annoying. I'm going to be struggling to regulate my emotions for the rest of the day, I can tell, because I feel like this now. And that was my plan for the day, I wake up early, I get my little morning chores done, I spend some time being anxious about it, I go over into town to make sure I get to my appointment early, I do my 15 minutes in the appointment, I come home, I do my stuff to try and calm down from having had the appointment, I watch stuff with my little Discord friends, I have another little chill out on my own, and then I go to bed. I don't know what I'm doing now. That's different and changed. I didn't want it to. I'm also recently having I was going to say hot and cold flushes because that's what I'm used to hearing them called because of my mum going through the menopause. I really fucking hope I'm not going through the fucking menopause. But I do keep having times that I go really, really warm, and then a little bit later on I'm like, oh, it's really cold. And it doesn't feel like it's particularly in relation to actual temperature around me. It's just so frustrating to have this basic thing that I already find so fucking difficult, and so difficult to manage, and so difficult to book, and so difficult to get myself to actually get there and do the thing and make the notes and make sure that I'm telling them what I need to tell them and everything else, just for it to be fucking cancelled on the day. And I think it's the fact that it's not cancelled, it's the fact that I could have rescheduled for today if I functioned like fucking everyone else can. but I don't, so I can't fucking do that. So I get to just have a horrible little day feeling like shit about myself, and then rebooking my fucking appointment online and having it take weeks and weeks and weeks again. And if I could have just spoken to a woman on a phone, I could have. That's the thing they're into. It's not even just talking to her. I would have had to speak to her and then reschedule the way that everything's going to be in my head, and the fact that I'm going to a different location, seeing a different person than I was expecting. And that's another one. Why can I never see the same fucking doctor? You're giving me a 15-minute appointment and I have to explain like my entire fucking life and everything I have going on, and how I've just been left to fucking rot and everyone's ignored everything. I haven't got time to explain everything, never mind get shit looked at. Like, I really don't know what I'm meant to do with like my actual physical health, because it does increasingly sort of feel like I'm falling apart and like nothing's working properly. And I have so much anxiety because I'm getting random little fucking lumps, and I am fairly sure from location and the fact they go away again that it's like just what's the word, like a lymphatic swelling or whatever. But like, I'd like to know that for sure. I'd like to know why it's doing that. I would like it to fucking stop, because it really hurts and it really freaks me out. Like, I just have all of these physical things going on that I've already been ignored. You know, I've already had a bunch of times that I've brought them up to doctors and said like, I feel this, I experience this hurts, and just been fucking ignored and left. And just, I've been getting a lot of like, I don't necessarily want to call it health anxiety, because like, the lump is there. It's not that I'm anxious, it is like there's a fucking lump, you know? But also it's the thing of like, I'm not so much anxious about my health, so much as the fact that if I do have something wrong, I'm just gonna be left to fucking deal with it until it's horrible. And it's another one where I really wish that I could tell myself like, that's not the case, get over it, Dana. My mum was told that she had a UTI for like a fucking year and a half, until it turned out to be 2 types of cancer and a brain tumour. Like, not being funny, the NHS is literally neglecting us, and it is literally causing people to die. And that's with someone who, like, my mum would just phone them and go up. Like, she did not give a shit. She didn't have any anxiety around that. You know, as someone who's already struggling to access the healthcare system for like just general things, if anything is going on, I'm fucked. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be like the most depressing person in the world, but truly, I've been like so many people coming out on my videos be like, oh, it just sounds like you have this going on, speak to your doctor. Oh, you're so lucky to have the NHS. Healthcare is free there. And it's like, yeah, if you manage to fucking access it, which I fucking can't, it's not accessible for like anyone but the most standard ordinary person that you've ever fucking met in your life, you know? And they tell you to reach out if you experience anxiety, and then every time I have, they're just like, oh, don't be so anxious. And it's like, helpful, real helpful, thank you, wow. Like, I can't advocate for myself. I can't fucking ring them when I need to. They cancel my appointments on the day of, and it takes weeks to fucking book another one, you know? Like, I just... And especially as an autistic person, I don't really... You know, I don't feel like I have any fucking concept of when something is like, this is bad, you should see a doctor, versus like, this is just a way the human body is that we all exist with, you know? Like, it was only like 2 or 3 years ago that I was told that I should be like existing day to day without pain, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean, like a day without pain? I don't know what you're on about. But doctors are just leaving me as though that's normal. It's normal to be in pain every day. It's normal to have days where you struggle to walk around, like, fine. You know, like, so much of the stuff that I'm complaining about is stuff where it's like, you have to push and advocate for yourself to be taken seriously. And I very simply, I can't do that. Like, I just can't. And like I say, even if I could fucking advocate for myself and get myself sorted in that way, the fucking appointments just get taken from under me now. Like, I don't want to be all self-pity and be like, ugh. But like, also, I really... Yeah, like, a lot of other areas of life, I'm like, I'll figure something out, I'll get something sorted. But it's like, I've jumped from fucking doctor's surgery to doctor's surgery as I've moved around. And this one was the one that all my friends were telling me, like, oh, I'm with them and they're city centre and they're so good and you can just book the same day and you can book online and you can do this and that. I've been with them for like 2 years now. This time was the first time that I've managed to actually book an appointment online. And they've cancelled it the day of. But I've fucking moved house so many times now that the last doctor that I saw was like very much Like, he was asking me all sorts of questions about why I've switched doctors surgery so often and shit, and I was like, because my housing is unstable, and every time I move, I'm now like an hour away from my last fucking doctor's surgery. And he was like, oh, okay. And it's like, yeah, I've changed my address with you each fucking time. Like, just, you have the information. Oh. So I'm fucking petrified of changing doctors now, because they're gonna be like, you're changing doctors because you just want a diagnosis of something. And it's like, yeah, I do, because I've got all these fucking symptoms that are clearly symptoms of something, so there should be a diagnosis at the end of it, surely. But I'm just being treated as though I'm like shopping around for diagnoses, when, like, number one, if I came in, gave you all the fucking information about what I had wrong, and had you actually give me something in response, I wouldn't keep coming back for the same fucking things. If I was able to live in stable fucking housing, I wouldn't keep having, like, I was so anxious about going to the doctors this morning because I had to get the train, and it's almost a relief that it is a relief that I don't have to go, but it's one of those things where it's also not, because I know that it's just putting it off and making it something I have to do again in future, and I fucking hate this. I absolutely fucking hate this. You know, the one thing that's worse than going to the fucking appointment that I have is not being able to go to the appointment that I have through no fault of my own. Like, it's been cancelled. I didn't cancel it, you know? Like, and I'm up dead early with, like, no fucking sleep, and I feel sick. Like, this isn't gonna be a day where I feel like a normal fucking person, and I don't want it. I'm not ready for it. I want to go back to fucking bed, but I know that won't help me. Like, I would feel much better switching to a local doctor's, because I would be able to walk instead of having to get public transport. I really struggle with public transport. But I feel like I'm being treated like something I'm not if I switch doctors again, you know? It's all... It really, like, it's so much when it comes to medical stuff. It feels like the fact that I can't socialise properly is what means that I just get fucking left to it. You know, like, my appointments aren't usually cancelled. I usually make it to them, and just nothing fucking happens anyway. They don't bother to do anything, so I don't know. I'm getting all upset about it now, so this would have been the time that they would have, like, really sorted me out. And it's like, maybe they would have referred me to somewhere. Like, it's fucking useless. So I'm gonna go and try to make something of my day now. I so often have moments where I just really don't know what to do with myself, and I had, like, my whole plan for the morning because I was having my doctor's appointment, so I hung up the phone knowing that, like, I wasn't gonna have it anymore, and I was just like, what do I do, you know? So I've done this, and I don't think it's made me feel any better, but I don't think it's made me feel any worse than I would have, you know? Like, it's one of those things where I'm not someone that's ever gonna, like, film meltdowns or show you, like, I don't intend to ever properly cry. I know I have moments when my voice starts going a bit, but I don't intend to, like, shed an actual tear on the internet ever. But this is the closest that you're gonna get to, like, an in-the-moment thing happening to me. Like, I just feel like a lot of us probably have these times where it's like, it's not end of the world meltdown anxiety time, but also nothing's okay. And maybe it won't ever be again. But it will. But maybe. At least I've got Otis. My little stinky boy. He's only interested in... He's just had his breakfast. Of course he's only interested in washing. Hiya, lads. So you're seeing me next day right now. But later on, so that was yesterday morning, and then yesterday afternoon I filmed a TikTok about the same thing, but I talked a little bit more, obviously because it was, like, later on in the day. I could talk about how it was to be after the appointment and feeling the guilt of, like, not attending my appointment and blah blah blah. I'm not going to say it here because I'm going to insert the TikTok into the video, so I'm sorry you're watching TikTok, I'm sorry it's vertical, but I feel like it just does a good job of, like, rounding off this video because I didn't give you a proper outro. But if you stick to the end of the TikTok, you do get to see Otis, so we can all be happy, okay? I was supposed to have a doctor's appointment today, and they phoned me this morning to cancel it, which already annoyed me because I know it says on my file with this doctor's office not to phone me because I'm autistic and I can barely handle phone calls. I did manage to pick it up. I asked if I could rearrange, and they told me that it would be at a different time and in a different place, but it would be today, and I just hung up.
And I feel that's the first thing that I feel bad about. I feel really terrible anytime I hang up the phone on someone, but it is a case of like, I can no longer speak, I can no longer get any words out. You can keep talking at me, I'm not going to be able to say anything in reply, so it is pointless me wasting your time by like still being on the phone call. The idea, see, I've spent the last 3 weeks since I booked my appointment going over the Google map route, going over my train times, imagining and like really getting comfortable with all of the like imagery and social imagination and everything else that I can for my journey from my home to my doctor's appointment. I've really put a fucking lot into it. That's what I have to do to go to a place that I'm not like familiar with. So I've already put all of that in. On the day of, you cannot tell me that it's a different location. I cannot get myself to a different location. That's not a plausible, possible thing that I can do. That's just not happening. A different time? Maybe. It's not the easiest, but I might be able to handle a different time. A different time and a different place. There is absolutely no chance. That is just entirely inaccessible to me, you know? So because of that situation, and me just, to be fair, it's more so because I mean, it's not because I hung up. I suppose I probably could have rescheduled for a different date if I'd asked, but it just completely overwhelmed me. I couldn't do anything. So I no longer get my doctor's appointment. I'm going to just have to book a new one that I assume is going to take another 3 weeks. And even then it's only for 15 minutes and I have an absolute host of things to discuss. But the thing that's like really getting to me is the degree to which it's just ruined my day. And it's like, I didn't even particularly want to go, you know? Like, I need to go. I need to have a doctor's appointment. So I'm trying to do the stuff that, like, keeps me alive and keeps me healthy. But I didn't want to go. So you'd think it'd be, like, a nice little celebration of, like, oh, I get to have my day to myself after all. I don't have to go to my appointment. No joy, no happiness. I'm not glad for it at all. I spent all that time preparing for it. I was ready to do it. If nothing had changed, I'd have done it and it'd be over with. And instead, it's just yet again a thing lurking in the future. But also, now that we're at the point in the day where it's post-appointment, like I should have already been and gone, I feel anxious and guilty and like I'm about to get in trouble for having missed my appointment. And I haven't missed my appointment. I know that they cancelled it. But I feel like I just didn't show up. I feel like I just missed my appointment and I've done something wrong. And I feel incredibly like anxious and restless and guilty and like I feel like I've big time fucked up and I'm about to get into a load of fucking trouble and I'm really anxious about it. And even though I know that I'm not, and all I need to do is book a new appointment, I've also just had the 3 weeks of like almost daily anxiety of at some point be like, oh no, what if that was actually today? Oh no, what if I've missed it? Oh no, my appointment. I need to think about this. I need to do this. I need to do that. You know, like it's already been a big thing for me for weeks. And now I have it again for weeks. And in a couple of weeks, I'll have another like 3 days where I don't manage to get anything done because one's the day before, one's the day of, and one's the day after. And it's just one of those days where I feel so frustrated by being autistic, you know, like it's one of those days where I'm just like, I know that the majority of people aren't dealing with feeling like this when an appointment they didn't want to go to gets cancelled, and they also would have just been able to reschedule on the phone probably for like sometime this week. It wouldn't have been such a big thing in the first place, and they wouldn't be feeling like this afterwards, and I'm a bit upset and jealous of that and quite frustrated by it, and it annoys me, but that's where we're at. Baby. He's all damp from washing it. Oh. As always, if you want to find me in other places, they'll be linked down below. You can like and subscribe, blah 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 blah. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days with a real video.